I hope I'm not wrong in saying this. I think this is the first time I'm wearing a suit for a Park to Prem episode this year. It's a big occasion. You've had all weekend to wait for this. The League One playoff final. We're taking on Plymouth. We are going to do a Wembley away day as well. I know I talked about the Wembley curse, doing away days, and we go to Wembley and then we lose at Wembley. But I am fearful of the fact we have just one game today. And given how we've played this year, it will probably be 1-0 or 2-1 or a boring score one way or the other. So rather than have a 10-minute episode, I suppose we should hit the road. I've got a suit on. You're ready for this. I hope you've got some food or popcorn or whatever it is you do whilst you watch these videos at the ready. Let's run the intro and get into things, shall we? Let's do this. Yes, folks, welcome back to Park to Prem, and yes, it's the end of season number 9, and what a way it would be to mark our, 9th year in charge if we were to get promoted to the Championship. We missed out on automatic promotion, we dispatched of Wigan on Friday, we're back here today to hopefully do the same against Plymouth Argyle. Now, Plymouth Argyle have spent the last 12 years in League One, so as long as we've been climbing up the leagues, they've been stuck in this division, so both teams desperately looking to get out this division. It's kind of mad, isn't it, when you look at their estimated value, you look at their facilities, you look at their social media following, and then you compare it to ours. Yeah, we are the underdogs today. Now, bizarrely, Plymouth Argyle are a team that we've played a lot over the years, albeit in pre-season friendlies, because they're one of the more local teams to us. You can see here, we played them in 5 pre-season friendlies. We've lost every single one of those, but in the 2 competitive games we have met in, we've won both of them. A 3-1 win, you can see here Beckford with 2, Apshawn with a goal 2, and then more recently, in fact, as March, you can see a 2-1 win in this one, Apshawn again with a goal, Abu Kamara. I mean, I feel like we should win today based on what I'm seeing here, but that's not how football works. Looking at the playoff semi-finals, we beat Wigan 3-0. As for Plymouth, well, I was kind of glad, really. They managed to win 3-2 on aggregate against Reading. They had a really good performance in this second leg as well. Away from home, Reading, a team who caused us issues at the end of the league season, didn't really fancy them, so I do feel like this is the easier of the games we could have got. And Plymouth, as you can see, like to play this 4-3-3. So that is going to be something we have to be wary of. What I will say is, when we've played against systems like this, I do feel like we've matched them pretty well. Of course, over the years, we have had our fair share of playoff finals. In fact, this is not really our first rodeo. We've had 2 successes. First of those days to remember was against Oxford, a 3-2 win in extra time, Kitongo, and then LBM with the goals. You can see here, Kitongo retired after a brief stint in Angola. And for the NLBM fans out there, here's an update. Has he got way worse, or was he always this bad? He is, he looks awful. I mean, maybe that's just a sign of the progress we've made. I'm not sure. I swear he wasn't this bad, though. Of course, that day to forget at Wembley was the defeat against Dagenham. This one stung quite a lot at the time. I mean, it doesn't really matter now because we're out of the National League, but I am still upset about this. I feel like I'm going to hold a grudge against Dagenham forever. And would you believe it? Just 2 years ago now. Yes, it has only been 2 years since we got promoted from the National League. That playoff final win against Hartlepool, this was a pretty convincing result. If we could have a game like this one, it'd be nice. It's also weird going through these past games, just seeing how the formations changed over time. Anyway, we are going to head to Wembley Stadium for an away day. Buckle up, get ready. We're heading to London. Hopefully, we're going to have a good time in London and win. So, of course, we will be leaving the island of Guernsey. Presumably, we're not going via Torquay, which has been our home ground for the last few years. And just to put a little bit of perspective here, here is where Plymouth is. Plymouth is probably, in our own league, the closest team. Why we couldn't just agree to play in between, I suppose there's an ocean. I was going to say, could we not have a more neutral venue? But no, we're heading to London. Funnily enough, I don't think they make floating football stadiums. And we are heading to Wembley, and I'm hoping, if I look for a big patch of green, there's a football stadium. I mean, we've been here twice before. I don't need to pretend I don't know where I'm going at this point. Now, of course, with these Wembley away days, we just kind of drop the dot and see what's going on. I've already given Wembley a score, so we're not going to do that. We're just going to go on a point-and-click adventure, and I've been umming and ahhing about when would be the right time to do this. I think today is the time to do it. There are all these dots off to the right, and they've caught my eye for a long time. Quintan Living, the Robson. Is it a hotel? I have no idea. I don't know why there's so many dots here. We're going to find out. What is this place? Okay, is this housing? It must be housing. It's definitely not a hotel. It's far too big. This is very cute, isn't it? I mean, it probably costs a lot to live here, and it's a bit hipster. Do you reckon we can just do our training sessions on this patch of grass here? Will that be allowed? Also, I can go on a full tour. They've got deck chairs. I mean, all I'm saying is my block of flats doesn't have deck chairs. And look, it's not even on the ground level. There's a bloody swimming pool over there. At least I think, is that a swimming pool? I think it's a swimming pool. Either that or it's just a water feature. It looks expensive. Probably a swimming pool. I mean, they've literally got a connection to the football stadium from these houses. How do I live here? I assume these are houses. I mean, I don't want to check how much they are. I mean, I'll be honest, at this point we have gone off the rails, but they've named all the different buildings. There's Lansbury, Alto, Montana, and Dakota. Why have they named all the buildings like they're human beings? Canada Gardens. These are all within Wembley. I want to find out more about Canada Gardens. More than just an apartment. I mean, it is just an apartment though, isn't it? I mean, you've got deck chairs, I suppose. I just want to know if I can afford one of these with my League One manager wage. I mean, I'm currently getting £275 a week, so it might be affordable. It's definitely not affordable. Gonna level with you, looking through these places now. Don't think my £275 a week is gonna cover the monthly rent. Yeah, they're like £2,000 a month. That is mental. You're thinking it, I'm thinking it. What is the most expensive one like? £4,725 a month. We can do a tour of the house. I mean, does this even classify as part of the away day at this point? Lovely clock. I mean, I need to inspect the toilet. You better get a blooming good toilet for £5,000 a month. I'll be honest, underwhelmed. Do you ever have those moments where you're thinking, what am I doing with my life? I'm thinking that right now. We're meant to be doing an away day. I think the standing up desk just makes me go on tangents. It gives me a new form of energy being able to bounce around. Let's just click on a random spot in the stadium. This is the only place I'm going to visit in the ground today because I've had enough of my own waffling. Where are we going to end up? I definitely clicked on this image before. We're going to do another one. There's so many dots, and I happen to click on the same one that I know I've already clicked on. I mean, here we have... that's Seahawks jerseys. There's a Green Bay Packers hat there. I mean, here is the cheeseburger stalls at Wembley. I will say, been here, ridiculously overpriced. It's like £10 for a burger. I'm not satisfied with that as the away day content. I need another spot. Oh my, why is every picture of American football? Do we have more American football games than football matches going on at Wembley? Also, what is happening? I mean, if you're watching this video late at night, I'm sorry, get some sunglasses on. You've just been flashbanged by me. I'm not sure that is an away day. Does that count, that segment, as an away day? It has to. We've got this game to play. So when it comes to the squad for this playoff final, we're not going to change too much. There is one enforced change, and that is because Daniel Hooper is suspended for the most dumb second yellow card. You saw it in the previous semi-final. It has just dawned on me. Paul Little is back and fit. A man who joined us, of course, in January. A man who has developed a lot. I'm hoping we might be able to sign him permanently when his contract at Arsenal expires. Originally, I thought, we'll loan him again, but then he's not got a contract at Arsenal. The minor issue here is he's currently on £15,000 a week. So, slightly out of our budget. In terms of the rest of the team, though, Tim Apshawn has had a really good goal-scoring record against Plymouth this year. He is going to get the nod alongside Kamara. In terms of the rest of the team, the back four, or back three rather, is still very strong. Even with the injury, or suspension rather, to Hooper, McGrath just comes back into the team to do McGrath things, and what that means is that Apaya makes a rare cameo on the bench. A player who I did think would play more of an active role in the first team this year. When Hooper came in January, he basically became the fifth choice centre-back, and I've been keen not to rotate things too much, but he's the kind of player who, if we had to throw him in today, I'd probably feel like I could trust. I've said that, and then I realise he doesn't enjoy big matches. I still trust him, I think. Okay, let's get into this one. Like I said earlier, expecting Plymouth to play a 4-3-3. That is a system that we match up fairly nicely against, I believe. So that gives me a little bit of hope. I suppose the fact we've beaten them twice this year during the kind of league season itself should give us some optimism going into this. But of course, in a single game like this, anything can happen. And I've just noticed it's going to be green on green action. Am I going to have to go 2D for the playoff final? It's green. It's our green and their green. Are they different enough greens? If you're a colourblind viewer, I'm really sorry. I was sat thinking maybe we'd get to use our away kit. We never get to use our away kit. I mean, if there was a day it was going to happen, it was going to be today. It's not happened, though. Okay, 22, 23 minutes into this game. We're having a lot of the ball, not doing anything with it at the moment. I'm going to switch us down to just positive mentality here. I mean, clearly we're having a lot of possession in the defensive areas. I feel like we can play out of their press pretty well. Unfortunately, Looks like we're really struggling to make inroads into the final third. I have to suspect a lot of the possession is just us passing it around the back, trying to probe. And in fact, we could find ourselves on the back foot here because Godwin Malife, I hope I've done his name justice there, has put it into the middle. We've got it away just about, but only as far as Jenkins-Davids. Carroll, edge of the box, cutting inside. Scott Williams puts in half a tackle. Does that count as a tackle? It was a half-hearted effort. I mean, it's not ended up in the back of the net. It's fine. I think I am going to change things up slightly here. I'm going to just tell us in transition to, well, not necessarily exclusively distribute it to the defenders. Let's just try and mix up our build-up play that little bit more. Additionally, I'm going to shout demand more at the players. And, well, we could have more here because Earthy is over it. We plucked him from the National League last year. And now we might be placing him in the Championship. What was that free kick? What was that? He hasn't gone over the wall. He just smashed it across to the corner where the keeper clearly isn't expecting it to go. I mean, it's not often you see that free kick happen in Football Manager, is it? That's mental. I mean, Georgie Earthy, take a bow. What on earthy was that? I'm sorry, that was funnier in my head. Half-time, 2 shots on target. It's the Guernsey way of old, or of new, I suppose. The way of old? We never were like this in the good old days. Good old Guernsey, we used to be so attacking. Now, we settle for just smash and grabs. And at the moment, we're set to do just that. We've scored from a free kick. We've limited their opportunities. They've not had a highlight of their own. They've also picked up a fair few bookings, which I think plays into our hands a little bit. Given the fact we have so much possession, we've got them chasing the ball. And really, it's now on Plymouth to try and make something happen here. We've got 58% of the ball still. Having a few more shots in this half. Plymouth are yet to create anything in the opening 15 minutes of this one. I'm going to take off Upshawn and bring in Charles. I'm also going to bring in Shulman at centre attack in mid. Hassan has not had the best of games, so you know what? We'll do a little bit of a shuffle in terms of the wing-backs as well. Of course, these are changes that we've made regularly through this year. Getting fresh legs into the areas of the pitch where I think we need them, and I mean, for a second, I thought Kamara was going to create something from nothing there. His shot's blocked, but it's still in a dangerous area. Unfortunately, we're not going to see the resulting corner, so we'll never know what happened, but there wasn't a goal from it. Okay, we've scored a free kick. They've now got their own. This fills me with dread. Darren Rigby, he's not had much to do today. Can the keeper make a stop here? Free kick is initially blocked, but still in a dangerous area. Farm with the ball turns, hits it, and oh my word, my heart was in my mouth for half a moment there. Beckford's on a booking, and I don't like it. He's off tackles. I don't trust him. Every episode I'm going to say it. He gets booked too many times. We are 10 minutes away from the Championship. 10 minutes away from absolute glory here. I'm going to take off Panny. I'm going to bring in Liam Stewart, who's a little bit better defensively. And elsewhere, I kind of want to take off Beckford. You know what? I'm doing it. Apaya, on you come at right centre-back. The last thing I need is to go down a man here. There's 5 minutes left. There could be late drama. Why does there have to be more highlights? Meth then for them, bringing it forward. Of course, if we get a goal now, that would be, you imagine, game, set and match with 4 minutes left. But there might be a chance here. Coleman takes it down, hits it. And he's hit it just wide. How much added time is there going to be? It's still 1-0. There's been 3 shots on target in 90 minutes. It's been atrocious football. Plymouth trying to make a breakthrough happen here. Rigby plucks the ball. Hold on to it, mate. Fall down on top of it. Clutch it like an egg. Become a hen on the egg. Instead, he's going to launch it, which, I mean, it just gifts them possession. It's not really what I want to see at this moment in time, because there's still 4 minutes of added time here. That said, we could be on the attack. Kamara dinks it. Charles is there. Brandon Charles, you beautiful man. It's his 13th of the year. He doesn't get many anymore. I say anymore. This year he's not got many. He may never play for us again regularly if we're in the Championship. That goal there, though, from the hometown hero. We've adopted him. He's one of Guernsey's own. He's found the ball in the middle. He takes it down with one touch, hits it with his instep into the bottom corner. We're 2-0 up. We're going to be in the playoffs. Not the playoffs, the Championship next year. We're in the playoffs now. I've lost my mind. Oh my word. We actually got promoted. I mean, congratulations. My concern here is, if I want to be competitive in the Championship, I have to change this squad quite a lot. And I like this group of lads. Can we just arrange to, like, get relegated next year now? It's going to be so hard. It's great news, but it's also terrible news. What I will say is, after we made those little adjustments after about 35 minutes, Plymouth really didn't create a lot. We definitely looked better off the back of those. We win in the playoff finals. We're promoted. The Green Lions were in the championship. The board have set the budgets. Wage budget of £54,000. A transfer budget of 1.7 million. 1.7. We're going to have a great summer vacation as a team, I think. Can we just not sign players? Can I just go and party for a bit? That'd be cool. You can see here we receive £723,000 for participating in the league. I mean, I don't know what the plan is now. I've got a transfer special to do for Tuesday, and I think it's going to have to be a two-parter again. I don't know what to do. I've not planned for any of this. I mean, to put it in perspective, our salary per year right now is 1.72 million. And in the Championship, Middlesbrough are spending 53.65 million on wages a year. The lowest is Cheltenham Town on 3.95 million. We are spending half what Cheltenham are doing. How did Cheltenham do this year? They finished bottom. Our wages are half that of Cheltenham, who have just finished bottom with 7 wins all year. I think we're in trouble. When you look across this team, there's not that many players that I'd go championship quality. But at the same time, I worry that if I really invest into the squad too much and then we can't stay up, that we find ourselves in a situation where we go down to League One and have to cut loads of wages because of the financial fair play stuff again. What do I do? Do you just go for it next year? Who am I even going to be able to sign is the other thing. Are there going to be that many great players interested? I mean, I suppose we're going to be just looking for players like Paul Little and hoping that they're good enough. Apparently, he's a Sky Bet League One quality player. He's also one of the best players in our team, along with Wayne Beckford, who, just as a reminder, has a release clause of £325,000. Can we get rid of the release clause? Can we get rid of it? I did chat with his agent about removing it. I can't remove... David, we're not going to have a friendly relationship for long. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm so excited and so happy about promotion, but there is this kind of dread that's now just kind of looming over me for kind of what's to come next year, because we're not ready. We're just not ready. I do feel like Rigby's criminally underrated, by the way. Apparently he's a League 2 quality player. Is it just me who feels like he's good enough for the Championship? Maybe I'm just looking at his shot stopping and aerial reach too much, but I feel like those two strengths in his game are absolutely amazing. I think this man's good enough. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm deluded. Maybe I'm just lying to myself. I'm not sure. There are a few players like Rigby and players like George Murphy who I do at least just look at their polygon and kind of some of their raw numbers and think, as a low-end Championship squad, I probably could facilitate you in the starting 11, but there is absolutely no denying we are going to have to bolster the squad. I suppose the good news is we have been given a bigger transfer budget. Naturally, the temptation is going to be to immediately shuffle as much of it as we can into wage budget and just try and improve the squad through freebies as much as possible. I am thinking that is probably going to be the best result and best route to go through, not only because we should be able to maybe sign a few more players, but also because it does open up the opportunity to then sell those players on for more money to hopefully kind of bankroll further success. When you're a team like ours, you're not going to get a load of money through kind of gate receipts, through sponsorships, through TV revenue. The best way to make money in Football Manager is to bring players in for cheap or preferably nothing, and then sell them on for big, big bucks. And that is going to be what we're trying to do here. Okay, to wrap things up today, we are going to do the end of season review. I think the plan with the transfer special is to do it over 2 parts. I kind of enjoyed doing that at the start of this season. I didn't have to rush through and do a summer transfer window in kind of 24 hours and edit it as well, which did mean that I could, think on things a little bit more. I didn't feel like I had to rush through the game. It was also really nice, actually, to be able to read the comments halfway through the summer to see what you guys thought about the early moves that I'd been doing. Of course, when it comes to those moves, there was a fair few players here, and the signing of the season, somewhat unsurprisingly, is Abu Kamara. Now, this man has had one hell of a career, let's be honest. Released by Norwich City, played in the Vanarama National League North for Boston, got 12 goals, has just progressively got better and better and better. We brought him in this year thinking originally he was going to be a bit of strength in depth, bit of quality in the striking area. Of course, then financial fair play and transfer embargoes took hold, and as a result, he became a mainstay of our team. 23 goals, 8 player of the matches. Yeah, a bit of an unsung hero. I don't feel like I sing his praises enough, but he has been truly, truly special this year. I mean, just sorting by average rating, you can see here Daniel Hooper had a very good year, as did Scott Williams. Of course, hometown hero brought back to the club. The fans have given him an A+, and I feel like he deserves, at the very least, that. He's been absolutely sensational. I already bigged up Rigby a little bit. I feel like he did very, very well. I know the rating wasn't the best. I feel like goalkeepers just don't get amazing ratings anyway. But generally speaking, this has been our best year defensively ever. And I think Darren Rigby's a big part of that. Oh, how good does it look to see the P next to our name there? Third place in green. It isn't always the case that the third best team over the league season goes on to win the playoffs, but I'm pleased to report this year it has been that. Of course, we had that really rough start to the year. We persisted with the system. We tweaked things a little bit, and off the back of that, we went on a really good run. Certainly wasn't a flawless season by any means. In fact, you can see here, we won less than half of our matches. That said, we did enough, and in these big matches at the end of the year, in the playoffs at least, we did not concede a goal. We were superb defensively across all 3 matches. FA Cup third round defeat to Everton. It was a good payday. Carabao Cup, we lost to Forest Green. Papa John, none of those ones matter. From a financial point of view, not loads of radical change, although I feel like that will change a little bit now going into the Championship. Of course, the Championship has all the teams coming down from the Premier League and then little old Guernsey moving up. It's going to be interesting, to say the very least. Maybe it'll play into our hands a little bit. Teams will be super aggressive and super attacking against us, and as an underdog side, they might leave themselves a little more open. But you can see here, from a financial point of view, it wasn't actually that different to last year, which is a bit disappointing. This apparently is the team that we lined up with the most. I'm not sure why Kelly is at centre attacking mid. Kelly left halfway through the season. I suppose he was here for a good chunk of the year. Elsewhere, though, no real qualms here. I suppose the sea of green ratings really indicates how good the spine of this team was. I only won 1 manager of the month. It was in March, which is a bit depressing. Fans player of the season was Scott Williams. Young player of the year went to Darren Rigby. That makes me happy inside. Abu Kamara picked up signing of the year. Hassana got 9 assists, and it was just a blooming good year in the end. I want to say I love the manager timeline. And at this point in the save game, it should be great, but there's still far too many future stars. Remember when Patrick Groom signed for us from that university team? Remember that? We took him from Stirling Uni, but he's now been playing for Petershill forever, and he's very, very average. Remember when this man was like a star player for our team? Oh, how times have changed. If you're wondering about the overall best 11 9 years in, here it is on full display. Sean McDonald in goal, of course, the rest of the team. You can see here some names from, the good old days and some of the newer days. Falbo, by the way, still at Barry, still vibing, still not made an appearance for them. Poor bloke. Okay, what is the plan for next year? Play high-tempo pressing football. Why do they want to build a new stadium? Are we building a new stadium? How much is that going to cost? I shouldn't be worried about a new stadium. It should be cause for celebration. But if it means I don't have money to spend to try and stay up in the Championship, that will scare me slightly. I mean, looking at things here, attempt to avoid relegation. Nothing new going on really here. Oh my word. New stadium? Now, I've played Football Manager enough to know that if we get through this day here, we should then get a new stadium item in our inbox if indeed it is going to happen. Some other good news, I can have a few more coaches now. So we are slowly but surely becoming a bigger club. There's more infrastructure here for sure. Right, I think if I hit spacebar, Rigby's unhappy that I've not improved the club's training facilities. Not now, Darren. Okay, is there going to be any kind of new stadium news? It might be something that we'd leave for next time. There isn't going to be a next time because it's here now. Neil Swales has announced we're going to go back to our home city of St. Peter's Port in Guernsey. We have no details for the stadium whatsoever. There's no name. There's no plans. There is going to be a new ground. We don't even know if it's going to have a roof at this moment in time. Also, this got granted during the year, but it's only just come through now. Our youth rating is category 4, which is the 4th worst, but we didn't have a youth rating before, so it's kind of an improvement. I'm trying to see if I can find any details about this planned new stadium. Apparently, we're searching for a site, and the planned capacity is 5,371. That doesn't feel very big. That's what she said. Someone's going to write in the comments, I'll do it for you. Okay, mad end to the year. Can't quite believe we managed to win the plus. I hope you've had fun with today's episode. Always weird when you come back for a singular game, but we went on an away day adventure, found some overpriced properties in London that are absolutely criminally overpriced. We went and saw some NFL football, and then most importantly, we conquered our local rivals, Plymouth. I can't even get my words out. I'm so excited for the new season. I'm also slightly terrified. Words of wisdom, words of encouragement, get them down below. Tomorrow, back transfer special. I'll see you guys for it then. Until next time, it is me, Jack, and I'll chat to you on the next one. I'm out.